All of a sudden, kind of out of nowhere, I was convinced I had it. Just convinced. Began having anxiety attacks, and they manifested themselves in just rapid heartbeat, fear, aches, just tingling up and down my arms and my chest, and just fear, continuous. And that's when I realized that I just couldn't handle it myself.
We're calling her Alice to protect her identity. Alice does not have AIDS, but her fear of contracting the disease began to take control of her life. With the help of psychiatric counseling, she has begun to deal with her fears.
We want people to have a little fear so that they change their behavior. What happens is there's just a lot of irrational fear.
Alice's is an extreme case, but some of her fears are shared by many.
There's lots of people out there who are scared about it. Maybe not as scared as I was, but it's a scary thing.
But what is imaginary for some has become a reality for others. In the Washington area, just over half the adults with AIDS are white. 41%, a disproportionately high number, are black, with 3% Hispanic. 96% are men. Health experts have been able to trace the background of almost all of the reported adult AIDS cases. In the Washington area, 81% are homosexual men who have not used IV drugs. 10%, including some gay men, are IV drug users. 2% contracted the virus through some type of blood transfusion, and another 2% through heterosexual contact.
It is now affecting the heterosexual population, and I think that's one of the reasons we are starting to get more increased funding.
Whatever the reason, AIDS has rocketed to the forefront of the public consciousness, with every advance in research making national headlines. Just last week in Connecticut, a research firm was given approval to begin testing of a possible vaccine. But scientists readily admit they're a long way off from finding either an effective vaccine or a cure. But the pace of research is not moving fast enough for some who are resorting to homemade remedies to help slow the virus. People such as this man. We'll call him Mario. Mario is desperate. A year ago, he was diagnosed with AIDS-related complex, not the full-blown disease. So he does not qualify for AZT, the only approved drug currently available. Like many of the people with whom we spoke, Mario's struggle with fatigue, nausea, fever, and pain is a lonely one.
Emotionally, I was a wreck. I couldn't sleep. I used to cry while I was driving to work. Sometimes I was at work and I would start crying.
Mario hides his identity, hides his disease and his homosexual lifestyle because he is sure people's ignorance and fear of AIDS could drive him further into the darkness.
Well, I already told my place of employment that I have illness, and the doctor has sent a letter to them, and the doctor has made a white lie out of what it is and says it's a rare disease. And so they know there's something wrong with me. They just don't know what it is.
Mario knows the AIDS virus can kill him. He has told only a few close friends what is happening to him. He is afraid to even tell his mother. While Mario keeps his suffering private, others, such as David Almand, speak out.
I'm not ashamed of my disease at all. I believe by speaking out to educate people, and I feel the best way to for people to know about this disease is to educate them.
Almand is rallying people with AIDS to join the second Gay and Lesbian March on Washington to push for increased funding and research. What Almand wants is for everyone to treat persons with AIDS just like anyone else. He tries to accomplish that through his strength and candor whenever he meets someone new.
They're going to react the same way that you react. If you're afraid, they're going to be afraid. If you act like nothing is wrong, I mean, I'm the same as you are. I have a terminal illness, and you hopefully don't have AIDS or a terminal illness. But we're both the same people. I react, I do my work, you do your work, and I just happen to have this disease.
It's hard to describe all the sad feelings that I've felt for all these people. I've been working with AIDS people for about 4 years.
At times, someone like Cronenberg can play an important role in the life of an AIDS patient, like the woman with whom she made this audio tape.
You need to support them, like you would support a good friend. Because lots of times, people with AIDS don't tell anybody, and then they don't have anyone to turn to.
For Cronenberg, the emotional burden has led to burnout.
Burnout consists of feeling sad, not wanting to see people that are sick, having nightmares when you're at home, and just not being able to get away from the situation.
One situation Cronenberg found hard to ignore was that of Susan Greenleaf, the woman on the tape, a young mother, law student, and gifted soprano. 3 years before Greenleaf married, she had an affair with a bisexual musician. She believed that was the source of the disease that killed her at 32.
She was vibrant. She was extremely bright. She had a great deal to give to the world. She had a wonderful husband, brand new baby, and she was alive. She was a very outstanding person.
Fortunately for Greenleaf and her husband, their son Zachary does not have the AIDS virus. But half of all babies born to AIDS mothers do, and almost all who have the virus come down with the disease. DC Children's Hospital nurse Dottie Wardwimmer has treated most of the local infants who have the AIDS virus, HIV. Her experience has made her philosophical.
There is no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hands. And sometimes that's exactly what not just HIV, but chronic illness can bring. It brings with it an appreciation for today that most of us don't have. And these kids and their families can sometimes take heart in that.
One of Dottie's most heart-wrenching cases is this little girl, Christina, 8 months old. She has AIDS. Christina is in the care of a loving foster mother.
It gets very trying at times. You see these kids go from death's doorstep and come back, and that's an emotional yo-yo that if you're not a very strong person, it's hard to handle.
Christina was born 3 months premature, brain damaged, addicted to heroin and cocaine, and infected with the AIDS virus.
The thought of just her sitting up at the hospital being abandoned, that's just not right. No one asked to get AIDS, and it wasn't fair that she should have to stay in a hospital. Hospital's no place for a baby to be raised. So I had a home, and she's got one now, don't you? Yeah.
As Michelle gained one family, she lost another. Her own brother won't allow her to bring an AIDS baby near his family. Christina was hospitalized last week and in the past few days has suffered through multiple seizures. Michelle is sure this crisis, like the others, will pass. But the fact remains, doctors say Christina will be lucky to see her second birthday. National health authorities estimate that by 1991, AIDS will have killed 179,000 Americans. That's our report. I'm Mike Ritz. Thank you for watching.